to introduce themselves, then we'll come to you. Please, Linda.
Good evening, Mr. Malim.
Good evening to you, madam.
My name is Linda Kiome, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you for this interview session. Karibu
Thank you,
sana.
Madam Chair. Madam Vice Chair, sorry.
April, habari ya jioni.
Nzuri sana.
Naitwa Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa jopo hili la uteuzi.
Thank you. Thank you, CP.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Caroline Kituko, karibu.
Asante.
Good evening, Malim Mohammed.
Good evening, Prof.
My name is Adam Solo, a member of the selection panel.
Asante.
Habari ya jioni.
Thank you. Mzuri sana sana.
Naitwa Nicodemus Bore na karibu.
Asante.
Assalamu alaikum, Jibril.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, madam.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Asante.
Good evening, Mr. Mohammed.
Good evening to you, Ambassador.
Karibu sana. My name is Kokimuli Grinyo, and I'm a member of this panel.
Asante. Thank you.
Good evening, Jibril.
Good evening to you.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of the selection panel. We welcome you.
Thank you. Asante.
Jibril, we come to you and request that you introduce yourself to us, putting emphasis on the things you think we need to know in your profile and why you think that you are suitable for the position of Commissioner of the Iebc. Highlight if you're a member of any professional group and if you have received any award. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to appear before this team. I am Jibril Mali Mohammed. I'm the current Chief of Staff for Policy, Economic Planning and Digital Transformation, County Government of Mombasa. Chair, I bring wealth of experience, knowledge, expertise, and professional capabilities to the Commission. I did my bachelor's degree at Moore University, BCom Finance, Banking and Finance option. Later, I joined Mount Kenya University for my MBA in strategic option, and then later thereafter joined Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, where I did my PhD in leadership and governance, where I'm set to graduate this coming month, which is May. Beside that, Chair, I also did some important papers that are certificates that are very key to the adverts. One of them is a certificate in corporate governance, as well as certificate in senior leadership course. In addition, I also did certificate in AI, artificial intelligence. As you are aware, Chair, and the rest of the panel, the world is digital. The world has gone digital. And AI, of course, as I will be discussing on this further later, has helped many countries do an election. So I also did certificate in AI. A couple of countries has already used AI, of course, with an issue of digital hygiene and so much of it. Chair, I wish to highlight three key issues during my course of work, which are very critical. One is when I was at Ministry of Sport, Culture and Heritage as a Senior Deputy Secretary, under the then CS Ambassador Amina Mohammed, I was appointed to a task force of World Under 20. World Under 20 was an event which Kenya was generous enough to have staged. It was 116 countries participated in that event. So, Chair, I was given an assignment as a senior deputy. I was given as Deputy Director for Legacy. My position in the ministry was senior deputy secretary, but the task force I was given for that event was Deputy Director Legacy. I was basically part of the team who are licensed between the ministry and the event. We were working round the clock. That one really tested the issue of my resilience. It was also during the same time I was also privileged to have shared also podium with senior celebrated personalities, including Kipchoge Keino and so many other, Tegla Lurupi, and a couple of so many other celebrated players around who are in the sport world. Currently, where I am in Mombasa County, I'm a chief of staff for policy, economic planning, and digital transformation, where I handle both budget and the digital transformation side. So in 2004, Mombasa County was awarded as the most transparent county by the survey done by the county county budget team.
Did you say 2004?
2004, yes. Sorry, 2024 chair. 2024 chair, sorry. Yeah, 2024, there was a survey done across the counties, and Mombasa County was ranked as the most transparent county. So chair, resilience, being transparent, those are the critical elements required for this position. And lastly, currently, where there is this issue of share rollout, which is going on, which is still under the digital transformation department, which is still under my mandate. Mombasa County is the only county in the country right now which has surpassed the 60% in terms of enrollment. I think the closest is Bomet, which is around 50% in terms of share registration. So that is where I place it as an innovative. Chair, I'll put it as, if you to describe myself, Chair, I'll say transparent, innovative, and resilience. So Chair, those are my description. I'll be free to discuss other details through our engagement. So thank you so much, Chair.
Did you say that you have finished your PhD or that you're a student of PhD?
Chair, I did started 2019. I finished the PhD, but I'm yet to graduate. So the next, I missed the one of December, but I'll be graduating. The next graduation is May, which I'm set to graduate next month.
Do you have a letter of completion?
Chair, I haven't picked this up.
Okay. And then why is the share registration in your docket and not in health? Is there a Department of Health in Mombasa?
There is a Department of Health in Mombasa, but there is a team of dedicated ICT team who handles and support this. So the ICT team are under my mandate, the Department of Digital Transformation.
So they are borrowing your staff?
It's basically a collaborative effort, but the team is a collaborative effort, but the team who are handling that mostly are from my department, Chair.
Okay. Linda?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Malim,
Yes, Madam Vice Chair.
what key competencies beyond your educational background do you have that will be relevant in the execution of your mandate as an Iebc commissioner?
Through the chair. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. As I earlier highlighted, in terms of the synergies, the way I linked, the resilience part of it, which we demonstrated when we hosted the World Under 20, is a critical element for that. The current share registration being an innovative being one of it, is a critical element. Transparency, the budget transparent element, being transparent is one of it. I can go on. There is the issue of cost conscious, of course, which I did in my department, because before me there were a couple of other teams who were there. So I came in, I negotiated with a client on a provider, on ISP, internet service provider, and we're able to come to a certain point. So the element of cost conscious is also there.
And therefore, arising from your career journey, what experiences do you bring to the commission as a commissioner?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. I'll bring the element of innovation. I'll be an innovative person, looking at different approaches. The world is going digital. Having currently where I am in terms of where I'm domiciled and executing that, and the results are out there in terms of the reference across the country. Coupled with now this AI, artificial intelligence which has already done a couple of countries, is also an issue of innovation, which are very critical for this commission. The element of cost conscious as a commissioner, when you sit on that, when you are doing the procurement, you must do the cost benefit analysis, as well as the best where you get value for the service. So the element of cost conscious is also a critical element, which I need to highlight, as well as the element of transparency, which is already proved where I am. So the element of transparency is also a critical skills which I bring to the commission, the Vice Chair.
And any relevant interpersonal skills that you may have?
Yes, apart from before the public service, I was in hospitality industry. I bring to the table soft skills, and soft skills are critical element, especially when you are handling this basically crisis, when maybe an issues, you need to kind of like how to bring tempo down. So the element of soft skill is what I can affirm, Madam Vice Chair.
Your integrity levels ranging from 1 to 10?
I will say 10 because it has never been questioned.
Thank you. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've talked about hospitality. I see something called Hanan Group of Hotels. Is that a private enterprise or it is a public enterprise?
It's a private enterprise, but it's a chain of hotels.
So why was there an appointment coming from an office of an ambassador? Because there's an appointment in your portfolio of documents.
Yes, the ambassador
being appointed by an ambassador of Kenya to Kuwait to manage Hanan hotels.
Yeah, he is the ambassador. He is the owner of the hotel.
But that sounded like a government appointment. Did you notice that?
Maybe to a certain level, yes. But at the end of the day, he was also a staff of. He was an ambassador by then, so maybe the only option is execution. Yeah, but he is the owner of the hotel, the chains of hotel.
Okay. I want to ask Carol to ask you some questions.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mariam, under what conditions can voters recall their member of parliament, and what is the procedure that one must follow?
The conditions for recalling a member of parliament is one is resignation. If a member of parliament resigns, if a member of parliament is convicted of charges, if a member of parliament changes the party lines, the party where he's the party that brought him to the assembly, but he ends up in going for a different to where he changes the party loyalty. But above all, a signature can be collected by the resident of that constituency. Once it is verified by Iebc, then it is the petition is done through court, and that is that's the way he can be the recalling can be done through that. But now it has to be a third. The first is a third of the population, and then those signatures need to be verified by Iebc.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Chair.
Okay, I want to ask Koki to ask you a question. Koki, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Mohammed,
Yes, Madam Ambassador.
I would like to ask you a question on simplification and restructuring of some documents that were recommended by the Supreme Court. In the 2022 presidential election petition, the Supreme Court made various recommendations on the statutory forms used by Iebc to declare results, especially the presidential elections, because the case was at the Supreme Court of Kenya. Please tell this panel and those watching you the specific recommendations that were made to the IEBC relating to the use of these statutory forms. You can just list them, and then you say why each one of the recommendation was made. What is the recommendation and why? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Balozi. For the forms are 34A and 34B. 34 is the one for declaring the results from the polling station to the tallying center. Basically, the issue of concern, which were contentious as at then, were the duplication, the photocopy. That's an issue which issues were raised. The issue of watermark features, because those ones that are not original don't usually have those features of watermark. And then also the other issues that were that was suggested, the issue of signatures also to appear, especially for the agents, also to have also their signature signed, because some of the issues that were bringing issues as at then were declaration of maybe some of the agents were chased from polling stations and maybe some of them have not signed. So those were also an issues also as at then.
Can you clarify what do you mean by watermark, please?
Watermark is a security features on a form. For example, if today you are given a certificate from a specific university, there is that emblem on that, which is.
I know what a watermark is. What
Yes.
I'm asking you is in respect to the recommendation by the Supreme Court. What did they mean by watermark? Are they saying you add watermarks to those forms? Or
No.
what is the recommendation?
The recommendation is those forms that has watermark are the original forms that needs to be retained, or that is those ones that will be used to declare results. So the copy ones should not be used to declare results.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you,
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask FCP Tanui to ask some questions, please, FCP.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chiprel, let me congratulate you for your academic achievements and the many government appointments that you have received. And I want to wish you well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask Bwana Misati to ask some questions. Misati, please.
Thanks so much, Chair. Jibril, if you are given an opportunity to become an IEBC chair, or rather commissioner, please mention to this panel the constituencies and the wards which are now don't have representation that will be the priority of IEBC to conduct elections.
The issue of priority as a commissioner, I will just highlight the issue of technology, number one. Of course, being the critical issues. But if we are to go down to the wards and constituencies, there is constituency like Magarini. There are around 17 of them, plus in fact plus the one of yesterday for Kariobangi North. There are 17 of them. One Senate. There are those areas that requires by election to be done immediately by by the commission, including Magarini, Kariobangi North, Banissa constituency, the Banissa constituency.
Thanks so much. That is very good. Asanteni.
Shukran. Asante.
Okay, I want to come to you, Madam Fatuma, please.
Thank you, Chair. Jibril, do you believe in the credibility of processes? Can you cite an example where you saw the product of a credible process?
Thank you, Madam Fatuma. On for a process to be credible, number one, you must see through, especially in the scenario of IEBC, the issue of technology is critical. The issue of technology is very critical, and it's well highlighted under Section 44 of the Election Act and Regulation 6 on those criteria of all the RTS, how the elections are done. And one of the key elements about technology itself is simple, being simple, verifiable, and the process to be transparent. For technology, you must get involved with the stakeholders. You bring on board stakeholders. If possible, especially in the procurement process, you have to make it as open as possible. And once you, of course, according to the law, is you must like 8 months to election for a procurement of these procurable items for it to be transparent and open. But most importantly, you can as well do mock election in those areas where you feel the technology has not been fully embraced, or where you feel people have doubt. You can subject the stakeholders, all the religious, the civil society, the staff itself, the electorate. All you can do. You can do a mock election. Secondly, with the current at the talent center, we have the one that is made public on the public portal for the public portal is basically the one of presidential election. And in the current scenario, the only one that is projected on that screen at Bomas is the one of presidential election. How do you move from there is you make sure that you get a system that is integrated across, where you have all the other candidates also being on the same platform, all the candidates, so that Kenyans, mostly when they doubt, is there is a feeling like as a president got maybe X votes, but the one of governors, the one of MPs are not projected all together. There is a feeling now candidate X is favored to have gotten more votes than the other. So one of the instances is to make sure, under the new recommendation, is to make sure you have a project where you have a real transmission on a public portal for all the 6 candidates, so that you reduce doubt and build on trust, because currently we have a trust deficit.
Thank you very much, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
I invite Nicodemus Bore to ask you some questions. Nicodemus, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Now I'm looking at your rich academic journey. I'm trying to calculate the number of years that you have been able to do this, and maybe I need your guidance on this. You did your bachelor's degree at Moi University in 2012.
True.
And then after that, what did you do?
I did my MBA at MKU between 2014 to 2018. From 2019 to currently where I am is PhD, Leadership and Governance at Jomo Kenyatta University. Along the line, I also did other professional courses, CPA, and apparently I'm also a student of this college. I'm also doing my chartered insurance I'm at the tail end for both of the professional courses. So I believe education is the most important thing. That's why most of the time when I am free, at least I can do
Yes.
most of them. Or sometimes some of them are also online courses also.
Do you have a low degree?
I'm currently third year, 3.2, going to fourth year at University of Nairobi doing LLB.
How do you manage to do the PhD and law
Well,
at the same time a chief officer? You are behaving like Manchester United. The last 7 minutes, they score all the 3 goals.
Thank you, Wanabore. I still believe education is the most important thing, which you need to invest. The issue of PhD is mostly on research and publications. I completed my coursework the first year, which was basically between 2019 2020. Since 2020 up to now, up to few months ago, I was doing publications. And you see, once in a while, meeting lecturer, and so it's not always a full-time job that requires. You can even maybe you resubmit your books, and then maybe lecturer returns it after 3 months. So while you do this one now, when you have now any free time now, again, you apportion to this again work. So I think there is no doubt, because even for currently from even my current working place, you can also see there is evidence on how also the performance are well, it is in order.
Thank you, Jibril. It's only surprised because some of us, this PhD has become a real problem. You should envy how you are doing yours. Now, you have indicated that you currently serve as a county chief officer, policy, economic planning, and digital transformation. If appointed as a member, what relevant experience will you bring to the policy mandate of the commission?
Well, currently where I am, we do policy drafting. And there are 2 levels. They are policy drafting and legislative drafting. Usually legislative drafting is done by the county attorney and top legal minds. Ours is, for example, once the governor makes any pronouncement, yours is to pick, and then now you walk to the legal team. This one now is doable, you draft, and then at certain point they take over. Well, at Iebc, there are so many policies on issue of campaign financing policy, the issue of enforcement, penalties. As a neutral arbiter, what maybe some of them, they are just stuck. Mine, once I come in, of course, this is a collaborative effort in conjunction with other commissioners, is to push this these legislative these policy issues. For example, currently, since scheme kits were procured, it was 2012. It is now 17 years down the line. It is now 15 years up to 2027. It will be 15 years. The ICT policy industry practices between 3 to 5 years for any ICT item. So already you can declare that one as an absolute. So there are so many myriad of issues, including the one of technology, the one of legal, the one of the one on civic education. I'll be fast tracking with the legal department to the parliament, so that these laws are passed.
Thank you, and all the best, Jibril.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to invite a professor to ask you some questions, Prof.
Thank you, Chair. Jibril, I'll ask you hypothetical questions. And assume you are already a commissioner and you are going into a volatile commission. So picture this. You're a commissioner. You're chairing a working group. and you are under intense pressure from high-level political actors to revise a voter distribution plan that you know isn't aligned with the law, how would you approach that situation?
Thank you, Prof. Well, whichever steps you do, you are always guided by the law. So you are conscious, the integrity, the courage, is what will guide you. And you always confine yourself, Prof, to the law. So I feel once you take those bold steps, bold move, whichever any other political pressure will not sway you.
Lastly, from me on this segment, on selfless service, in your view, what does selfless service look like in the role of an Iebc commissioner? If you have an example from your career, feel free to share.
Thank you, Prof. Being selfless, I will put it like being resilient. And I did it, demonstrated it before. I said when I was at the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage, the event of World Under 20, where Kenya hosted 116 countries. We were working round the clock, 360 degrees. So the selfless, the commitment which you give is the most critical thing. So for me, that being resilient, that level of energy, the 360 degrees which you work throughout, is what I feel is the selfless which you give best to the commission.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. So you said talked about CPS. Have you finished CPA or not yet? I am a member of ISPAC.
No, Chair, I'm at the final end.
Huh?
I'm towards the tail end, both CPA and Chartered Insurance from College of Insurance, both. I haven't finished yet, both.
You're not finished. You're at what stage for CPA?
For CPA, I'm at intermediate, basically the final stage. I'm doing the intermediate and the final. But for Chartered Insurance, I have 2 papers left for me.
Final stage for CPA is called intermediate.
No.
Huh.
There is the foundation. There is the foundation, intermediate, and then final for you to be awarded the CPK.
So you're not at the final stage of CPA.
I'm towards the tail end, Chair. I have done I have the last papers to do.
Are you the one doing CPA?
Yes, I'm the one doing the CPS, Chair.
Because you should know the stages of CPA if you are the one doing it.
I have an exam scheduled for the final part of, because even intermediate, they are different papers. Okay. So I have the final papers for the intermediate, then from there I will proceed to the final.
Okay, Professor, do you have the last 2 questions?
Yes, Chair. Jibril Malim Hamid.
Yes, Prof.
This is a session that usually through the chair, we ask high school questions. And we start from where you have experience or expertise in. And your last statement in answer to either the chair or board, I can't remember, you cited the Ministry of Culture, where you served as a senior deputy secretary from 2018 to 2021. Unlike the previous constitutions, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 at Article 11, titled Culture or subtitled Culture, states at Para 1 This constitution recognizes culture as the foundation of the nation and as the cumulative civilization of the Kenyan people and the nation. Tell me, just cite one each, what that chapter says the state shall do at paragraph 2, just one. And at paragraph 3, again, just one. What parliament shall enact legislation to ensure?
Prof, thank you, Prof. Culture is the backbone, is a critical element as far as the heritage is concerned. So one of them is promotion of heritage centers, cultural centers. Parliament once identified, can fast track the UNESCO sites that requires recognition across, because those UNESCO centers are the ones that are important for other getting to know more culture, more historical part of it. So as a parliament, they are supposed to increase more of it. Once identified, they scrutinize and then they approve those centers.
My last question. Name 2 African national parks. Just 2 African national parks that are famous for lion sightings, where if you go, you just have a harvest of lions. You don't have to wait the whole day before you see a lion.
Amboseli National Park. There's Kru in South Africa. There is
in South Africa, just name it. You started saying Kru. Let's finish it. 10 seconds. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Prof. Jibril, thank you for your interaction and for the time we have shared. Do you have any comment or question that you'd like to make?
Chair, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I have one comment and one question. And I want to borrow from this Canadian scholar, Sharma, as well as Pareto, the Italian economist, Pareto, and 80. For Pareto, the rule is 80-20. What 80-20 means, Chair, is, for example, if you are doing business, 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your customers. When you are doing 20% of your effort, sometimes translate to 80% of your result. So the few issues of Iebc given priority, especially on issue of technology, the issue of mock elections. Once we procure these gadgets, is the most critical thing. For Sharma, is 90-10-10, which basically 90 days, one item. Sorry, it is 90-91. So it is 90 days, 90 minutes per day for that day, and then one program for the 90 days. So it is doable. The issue of election for the Iebc, especially looking at the current technology that are obsolete, because according to the industry practice, we are already beyond supposed to be 3 to 5 years. That's as per the guidance of ICT policy. But right now we are using the gadget that's almost 15 years. The same gadget currently right now, it only works in terms of network on 2G. But currently, most of the mobile providers, they are using 4 and 5G. We are still way behind. In other jurisdiction, in other places, there is the issue of iris as a mode of identification, iris scanner. But currently, in our system, those are what is lacking in the current gadget which we have. So those are the issues, Chair, that we need to address, and it can still be addressed. However, it is 1 or 2 items, and the 80-20 rule is of Pareto principle. Those are critical. Chair, mine is to appreciate. For a question, I'll say, when are we likely to have feedback from this exercise? And secondly, how is the cultural environment of the team at IEBC, if appointed, whom I will be with? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the timelines of this selection panel. They are stipulated in the statute, the IEBC Act, so it should be something that you know. And then for the other matter you have raised, we are not staffers of IEBC, so we may not be able to help you. But we wish you well, and would like to thank you for the time you have shared with us. Your certificates are with one of our colleagues at the door. The notebook and the pen are yours. Thank you very much. Na safari njema ukienda Mombasa.
Thank you, Chair.
Asante. Thank you. Media, we want to thank you again for your enduring presence and helping Kenyans to follow our proceedings. We are indeed grateful. We've come to the end of our day. We will pick up tomorrow at 8:30, God willing. Blessings to you and have a good evening. Thank you.